Desperado.
Why?
The Eagles. Right? Yeah.
Why?
Why? I think. There's a line. There's a couple of lines in that song. First of all, it's a great retreat song. Everybody throws themselves on the floor and cries. But more than that, back about 20 years ago, I was living in Springfield, Massachusetts, and I was on my way to Gloucester to a Jesuit retreat house to make an 8-day silent retreat. It was a 2-hour ride, and I went through different area codes and different radio stations, and I heard that song 7 times. And it wasn't like when the song had first come out. It was years later. And there's that line in there that says, you have to let somebody love you, let somebody love you, let somebody love you before it's too late. And it is that whole sense of that. I think that's, I could have played Desperado tonight and not talked and just left. This place would be a mess. But I mean, it really is about allowing someone to love us, allowing that goodness to come and to shine through. So, yeah, I mean, that's the one I always go back to. That's a great song. Thanks, Jimmy. A favorite Bible story? Yeah, I do. I really, really do. She doesn't need it now. Well, yeah, no, give it to her. No, because you may want to dialogue with me. Take it. We should do this every week, Karen. Yeah, no, I do have a favorite. It's actually in Genesis. It's at the beginning of the Bible. At the end of 7 days, God looks out over what God has created and says it's good. It's very good. And then the next piece of it is that there's, and I'm going to, augment the story just a little bit. Each night, God would go out into the garden and share in the beauty and the richness of God's creation with man and woman as we know them, with Adam and Eve. And you could get a sense if you use your imagination. And St. Ignatius, that's part of the exercises, is going into the scripture and using your imagination and imagining what it looks like, what it smells like, what's going on there. And so I love that. So God's walking around the garden and with Adam and Eve and enjoying the splendor of creation. One night God comes out and they're not there. And God begins to call out Adam. Adam, where are you? And if you stay with that, you get a sense of God's loneliness and God's desire to be with the ones that he created. And eventually you hear Adam saying, I'm over here, Lord. And God says, what are you doing? He said, I'm hiding. And God said, why are you hiding? And the words in Scripture say that Adam said, because I'm naked. And it has less to do with clothing and more to do with being vulnerable, ashamed, and afraid. And I love God's response. Who told you that? So this vulnerability, this shame, this fear, and this isolation are not designs of God, not created by God. So that's my favorite one.